Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, everybody, it's your girl, Sunny D. Welcome to tonight's show. It is August 17th, 2017. Guys, you want to say hi?
What's going on, good people? You know, it's your boy, Clint. What up, though, folks? It's your boy, Willie Styles.
All right. If you're listening tonight, guys, you're on blogtalkradio.com/GFT radio show. If you want to call in, the phone number is 657-383-1155. If you are too shy to talk to us, you can tweet us at GFT_radio. How was your week?
Well, my week went pretty well. Just for most of it, you know, being busy with the kids as usual. But got to see my little grandson, and that was just born recently, and got to spend some time with him. Also, just getting my son back into my youngest son back into basketball. So he's been doing a lot of practices and all the other stuff. So you know, it's just been a good family week. So.
That's what's up. I ain't been doing too much this week, you know what I mean? Steady working. Today, I just want to give a shout out to my little brother, Mike. You know what I mean? Today is his birthday. My youngest sibling. He turned 11 today. So, you know what I mean? Michael Lou, just want to give a shout out to him.
Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday. And I want to give a shout out to my baby. Yesterday was her birthday.
Oh, okay. Happy birthday.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday. Mini Sonny?
Yeah, my not so mini me. He turned 15 and
he's not right.
Huh? Did you say she's bigger than me?
You not right.
She may or may not be talking to me. She may or may not. I would either confirm or deny. Yeah, but that's what I did. We did a little turn up at my house yesterday, cake and ice cream. We were going skating Saturday for her birthday. She sent my money to last Saturday, and that's about it. So I'm broke until this week.
That's what's up, though. At least it's going to a good cause.
Yeah. But other than that, my week's been all right.
All right.
For sure.
We want to kind of jump right into the topic. There's a lot been going on this past week. There's so much stuff with this thing that went down in Charlottesville, Virginia. Our president and his reaction to it, and everybody's reaction to his reaction to it, and then his second reaction to it. So, what do y'all think about what went down?
Well,
actually, or will you just say what happened? I'm pretty sure everybody knows, but just kind of go through it.
Well, we all know. You know, I mean, they was having the alt-right. That's what they call themselves. You also had the neo-Nazis, white supremacists who want to call themselves white nationalists now. You feel me? To try to code the language or whatever. But they were having a protest because a statue of Robert E. Lee, the Confederate Army General, they was taking the statue down, so they want to protest it, claiming, that they trying to erase history, this, that, and the third. But when they was out there, you know, they was really, really aggressive. You feel me? They was screaming. I know at one point, one video was showing them screaming, "Fuck you, faggots! Fuck you, faggots!" They was chanting that. They was Jews will not take this country from us, you know, or something like that. Like they were really hostile, you know. And then it was other protesters there that was against them, and they was protesting against the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, and then eventually they start clashing. What was real interesting to me was, you know, they had the riot police out there, and, you know, it's this one video where you could see the neo-Nazis and the riot police, like, shoving each other, going back and forth. And, you know, the first thing I thought, like, man, listen, if that was a black protest and they was doing that, getting physical with the police, pushing back, it would have been a whole lot more violent. You feel me? A whole lot more people would have got arrested. You know, somebody liable would have got shot out there. You feel me? Now, somebody did get killed. Her name was Heather Heyer. She was on what you would say, the right side of history. You know, she was protesting against them, a white woman. You feel me? She was going back. You know, she was trying to shun them, so to speak. And some fool, got in his car, and he decided to drive through a crowd, injuring multiple people. You know, killing one person. I think they said he injured probably about 35 people or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Injured, killed the lady Heather Heyer, and then it was also a helicopter crash. You know, I guess the people was trying to see what was going on with the ride or whatever, and that helicopter crash. 2 people in the helicopter died. It was just a crazy scene. It was a crazy scene.
And they actually have video of one guy. He was protesting, and you can see him getting hit. Like, they had pictures of him getting hit, like, in different stages. And then in one video, you can see him rolling off the car, and you can see his shoe as the car is still going. And then he's on the ground. And he actually had came to the protest with Heather. Like, him and his fiance came together. And they all were protesting. Like, they knew her. They were, like, it was a bunch of them with her. And it's crazy because I've never, like, that was the craziest thing to see. Like, besides all the other stuff we saw, like, you see the white nationalists, like, you know, calling people the N-word, just calling people N-lovers, like, just going through it all. And stuff like that, whatever. And then you see that of this, like, various pictures from different people. You can see the instincts of the guy getting hit. Like, and I don't know if it's caught the video of her getting hit, but it's just crazy.
Yeah, the whole event was volatile from the beginning to the middle to the end. There was, and I just posted a link on our Twitter page about some of the different viewpoints of what was going on, what was happening, what was going wrong, what was being done on both sides, and I think a lot of it was very volatile from the get-go. There was fights, there was brawls, there was, like you said, the pushing and shoving between the police and the alt-right folks, and then you had the initial, I guess there was an initial charge by the alt-right towards the people who were anti-racist, trying to stop them from going into the park, and I guess that kind of kicked off another series of mass brawls. So the whole thing was a mess from beginning to end. And I think that a lot of it was, well, at least from the viewpoint of how protests should be handled and how the volatility of what they were doing, I think that there should have been more policing of the protests of the marchers who were there for the alt-right side, because they were, you know, doing their march or whatever, and they were trying to go into this park, and, you know, like you said, they were spewing out all these racist terms. They were doing all their you know, riot gear stuff that they had on and their little shields. They were rushing folks, but then, you know, the counter protesters being able to get to them. You know, that's something you don't usually see either in these larger cities when they're trying to keep these kind of protests from being extremely volatile and violent. So I think, I mean, not to blame the police completely, but I think they still had a hand in not making this a little bit more sane of a situation. You know, they were there, but you know, one of the I forgot what they call the alt-right people. They complained that the police weren't stopping the fights, that they weren't keeping, you know, the two sides apart, that kind of thing. You know, is it their job to do that? I don't know. I don't know how that works in Charlottesville, but I just know that I've seen these things go down in other cities, and, you know, the police get a little bit more involved. I mean, I think nothing good ever comes from these kind of protests. So, you know, it was bound to happen that, you know, things would get out of hand. But, you know, when it goes that far, like with the guy, you know, getting in his car and doing that, that's beyond reproach. He took that way too far. to risk the lives of not only, you know, the anti or the counter protesters, but even his own people. He just ran through that crowd with that car, you know, without thought and care for people's lives. So, you know, he definitely get punished for the fullest.
Yeah, it's funny because I watched a report. I forget what channel I was watching. One of the channels, I believe it might have been NBC, and they ended up having like an interview early. Matter of fact, it was on the Today Show. They had an interview with one of like their people that interviewed some of the people that was on the alt-right or white nationalist thing, and they were talking to them like they had a reporter with the alt-right community like that was documenting what they were like they're doing, and like they were saying like, yeah, we should kill them. Like they were making threats while they were talking like, oh yeah, we'll kill X, Y, Z, we'll do this, that, and the third. And it was crazy because I'm like, okay, well, you're admitting that you came with the intent to start some shit. And if anybody opposed you, you was willing to do, like, you know, go that extra mile. And it's like you said, I don't think their whole protest was just going to be this, oh, we're going to come rally because we want to sign. Like, they came out with the tiki torches, and they were out with them. Like, they were shouting out racist stuff. Like, you know how people are sensitive. Like, you got, like, it was all different people, nationalities on the opposite side of them that were, like, protesting this rally. And they knew, like, they purposely, and I get, like, words, like, some people say just words, but words hurt. Words are powerful. And you keep saying certain things to people are going to react. And it's going to cause an issue. This is why I agree that the police president should have been like, y'all know, come on, y'all, these people are openly racist. Hate everybody that are not blonde hair, blue eyes, or what they consider white, and you know that. And you don't think that you need more police people there to help that situation because you know it's not going to go right. You knew, like, you common sense know, like, if the KKK came marching down the train, you don't think that there would be a big protest and there would be people out there protesting, walking through there acting crazy?
Right.
Exactly. That's why one of the thing with this is, you know, like when we decided we were going to do this topic, and you know, and we used that pic and the collage, and I remember Willie I think he suggested the sad state of America as a title, and you know that's a dope. I thought that was dope. But I preferred, you know what I mean, the truth of America, you know what I mean, because, like, the true state of America, because I feel like this isn't new.
It's not.
You know, a lot of people, what I've noticed, are acting shocked, you know, and it's a lot of white people that, you know, are acting shocked. Like, they can't believe this. You feel me? It's like, come on. We've been telling y'all this for the longest. You know, we experience it every day. We've been telling y'all this, you know, but everybody want to think this is a post-racial America. Like, nah, it was never even close. It was never even close. You know what I mean? Nothing changed. If anything, you know, everybody, everybody blaming Trump. Now, I don't blame Trump. Because it was already going on. What I believe happened is when Barack got elected, you know, and so many black people, you know, we start poking our chest out. We start feeling proud. You feel me? That started that ire within them. That started that anger. That's when they start boiling. You know, they wasn't so overt with their racism for so long, but when that happened. And then he got elected twice. You know what I mean? They couldn't stomach that. That. So then when you get somebody like Trump, you feel me? Trump just the voice. He's just a representative. He's just the, you know what I mean? Like the face of it. You feel me?
Right.
For those type of people. And they came out in droves for him. Droves. You know, everybody keep talking about, well, Hillary won a popular vote. Well, by a couple million, like I think Donald Trump got like 65 million votes. It's a lot of fucking people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Win or lose. Like, that's a lot of people. You know, and I ain't saying all of them, because, you know, with some black people that voted for him.
And yes, I wrote a post about
I
that.
ain't saying all of them racist, but for the most part, you feel me, the country showed y'all where we was at. It showed y'all how we felt, how they felt.
Exactly.
That's basically what got Trump in there. You feel me? And it's, in these situations now, it's just like, all right, we about to let y'all know, y'all had y'all, y'all got y'all BLM. Okay, y'all Black Lives Matter. All right, we going to be out here screaming White Lives Matter. You feel me? Like, that's how they feel.
Right.
Like, nah. Go ahead, Willie.
I definitely agree that the shock and awe that people seem to all of a sudden feel about these situations is very disturbing, because, like you said, this country, I mean, literally, this country is built on racism, on oppression, on the destruction of people, not one people, many people, you know. So not only this country, but this whole land, you know what I mean, that this modern day and age was built on that, you know. Unfortunately, you know, the romantic idea that Europeans came here searching for freedom, religious freedom, for to escape persecution, to build new lives. That romantic ideology is overcast by the pure hatred and the pure evilness that a lot of people came here with and built this country upon. So, you know, it's a sad state, you know, as I was saying, but like you said, it's the truth of the nation. It's the truth of it. You know, I just posted another link to a picture of a statement a white man put out on his Facebook post, talking about, you know, why it's important for white America to realize why, you know, it's different for us. It's different for Black Americans. It's different for Native Americans. It's different for any group that has been oppressed or has been trampled upon. Because the fact is that white America has systematically destroyed and erased the history and been violent and torturous to the people of this land. Either natives, Black people have come over as slaves. Even now, you know, with the situation with a lot of these Arab nations, you know, being persecuting towards Arabs, Muslims, anybody who looks Muslim, whatever the case may be, you know, or look Islamic or whatever, they systematically they're constantly building this country up on hate. And like you said, this whole situation with Trump being put in office, and not only just Trump, but his administration, you know, when it came to the Steve Bannons, when it came to the I can't think of the other guy's name that was in there, but there's you know, several examples. It's so many different examples of people who have been in that administration, including Trump himself, who've been blatantly racist and blatantly unapologetic about the way that they feel about other Americans, be it Black Americans, Mexicans, be it
this is why I said that
rituals. So Islamic. So it's something, like you said, it's given these people courage to be more blatant again. You know, this great America that Trump wanted to build, he's bringing us back to the 40s and the 50s when it was more blatant to be disrespectful and racist to other cultures. And that's where we are again at this point, you know, where that courage is building up again. And I mean, it's scary to think how far it's going to continue to go.
This is why I said, and like when I watched the CNN video with the guy talking about how, like, Trump's initial response, he said it's been bad, something on many sides. It's been issues on many sides. Like this with this particular rally he was talking about, and he kept, when he used the word many sides, it kind of threw me for a loop. And I'm like, and people were like, oh, why when he killing the Nazis? Like, you understand that his whole everything he talks about since he was trying to be elected up until current has been racist to, or some type of biggest statement towards a specific group of Americans. But then he wants to make America great again. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm not saying that he's the cause for them to act like they did in Charlottesville, no. But I think that, like, why, like, you shouldn't be surprised that he didn't go and say, oh, well, you know, this is wrong. The Nazis are wrong. You know, this is, we're not going to tolerate this. He he didn't want to do that because he felt the same way. He feels the same way they feel. Huh?
No, go ahead. Finish.
Yeah, but I just feel like people were like waiting for him to say something, and it's like, for what? He's been being a bigot and a racist and a whole bunch of other things. And y'all, nobody cared. This is nothing new. Like, why are they surprised that he responded the way he did? Not the first time because he read a statement, but the second time when he just went in there and lost his damn mind. Y'all, he's been doing this. Like, he say what the hell he want to say. He don't care. And why would he care to be worried about nowadays? Well, I'm not going to say anything negative about the people because blah, blah, blah. Like, you say negative things about everybody. So Mexicans are killers and murderers and rapists and shit. You said this about this group of people. Like, you keep saying bad comments about any type of nationality other than white.
I'm going to tell you something. I agree with everything you just said. But what I'm going to say is he does care. He does care about what he says. Because, prime example, he came out. The reason why that first statement was like that, he thought it was going to be cool because he seen, in the video, you could see some of the anti-racist people. They were a little aggressive, too. Mm-hmm. You feel me? But, we know why. They were pushed to that point. But he knows, that's his base. You feel me? That's his political base. So when he makes that original statement, he has to he's trying to appease everybody. You feel me? Because he know them racists feel some type of way. That's why they released that statement after he released his initial statement saying, all right, that's dope. Trump didn't denounce us or nothing. You feel me? He said it was aggressors on both sides. You feel me? They were happy with that first statement.
Yes, they were.
He caught that. He caught that flack. He got, everybody went against him, so that he had to do the damage control. So he came back, and then he said what he said. Oh yeah, I want to denounce all the neo-Nazis, the KKK, this, that, and the third. Guess what happened? Remember the former leader of the KKK, David Duke. During the rally, he was like, we're supporters of Trump. This is what, we're doing what Trump wanted us to do to make America great again. We're following through on that promise. We're doing our part. After Trump made that statement, that second statement, that's why I always say people study your enemy. I follow him on YouTube because, you got to know how these dudes think. Immediately, he posted a video. David Duke posted a video, and now he coming at Trump, so to speak. Like, what you mean? You know what I mean? We put you in that office. You feel me?
Right.
We doing what you said. You know what I mean? You got promises that you got to fulfill. So what you talking about?
Right. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think a lot of
and then Trump,
people, of it is because he. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, and then that's when you heard the thing with Trump yesterday when he snapped in the press conference. Because now he like, man, that third interview he didn't care. He like, man, I got to. Well, I'm saying he did care about what them white folks had to say. So now that's when he went back to his original statement. He bucked. He was like, you know what? It was people wrong on both sides. You know what I mean? Thomas Jefferson owes the slaves. You're going to tear his statues down. So now it's like he trying to appease them again.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, that's his voters.
Right. And I mean, his whole campaign was built around the hyping up of these counter groups, like the Nazis and the alt-right and all of these others, volatile groups who, like you said, are searching for a leader, and he became their leader in his statements and his actions and the things that he was doing, and not denouncing them was his initial means of kind of hyping up their situation and kind of motivating them. You know what I mean? Because he's showing that he's their leader. He's the leader for those kind of actions and those kind of mentalities. And he's like you said, he's fairly unapologetic about it. He goes back to anybody who's anti-Trump, no matter what side he's on at the moment. And, I mean, right now I know that there's a couple of different groups who have gone after him, and he's, like you said, he's had these rebuttals. He ended up doing the press conference, I think it was yesterday, on the 15th, when he started going after the business people who were leaving his councils, because like the company I work for, the president or the chairman of the company I work for, he left one of the councils along with a bunch of other executives, and they ended up shutting that council down, that manufacturing council. And then there was the infrastructure council that was supposed to get started. That was immediately shut down before it even got started, because they're looking at, like, they don't want to be associated with this man and the things he's spewing, this hatred that he's spewing, and this low key innuendos that he's putting out there. And that's the thing. A lot of it is blatant, but then he's doing a lot of, like you said, when he does the rebuttal, he's got some low key innuendos he's throwing in there, with the from many sides, and he even put it. I think he even made a statement that he believes that the anti-racists were the ones that started the violence in Charlottesville, and like the videos are showing differently. They're showing that the alt-right were charging those people and started off the fights. Back and forth, it's all about Trump appeasing, like you say, appeasing his people and appeasing the people who got him into office. I think from a business perspective, Trump knows how to play people. From a motivational perspective, Trump knows how to rally the troops and how to get people riled up, be it negatively or positively. And I think he uses that to manipulate, right? And when he knows that the people who support him the most are starting to wane, that's when he knows he has to, like you say, he has to get in line. But he has his own ideas. So that's when you see him go back and forth and flip and flop and, go after his own people and come back and raise up somebody else. That's his way, because he's a manipulator, So I think, basically we have a person in that office, in that administration that's trying to appease and appeal mainly to his own agendas, but he's trying to still, keep everybody on his side to a point. You know what I'm saying? Not doing a very good job at it all the way around. But, that's what he thinks he's doing. He plays the "I got black friends" card in a minute to try to justify his racism. And it's for the people paying attention, it doesn't work. But it works on some of those other folks who aren't clear or aren't conscious enough to realize what's going on.
What gets me is you have these these pundits that come on these little political shows. And
that one
had the audacity, and they had the audacity to really defend what he's saying. You feel me? Like we're stupid. Like we don't get it. You feel me? Like we didn't just hear what he said. It's just crazy to me. It's just crazy. Like they had the boy Paris Nord, the black guy. You know what I mean?
I saw that on your blog.
Yeah, he was a classic example of why people call black Republicans coons. You feel me? He is the prime example.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, how you getting up on there? It's like do you look in the mirror, bro?
Right.
Do you look in the mirror? Do you hate what you see in the mirror that much? You know what I mean? Are your political views that strong? Like, how can are you serious?
So that's what I was about to say. So there's two or three different ways to view this, right? Myself, I'm not a big political person, right? So I don't really have the ability to understand political leanings to certain points, because I know that I have ideas and I have beliefs that will put me in a category. But when it comes to making decisions on those beliefs and those ideas as it relates to government policy, as it relates to laws, as it relates to processes, I make my own decisions, right? But then you have people who lean to political, who have political leanings. Then you have people who have religious leanings. So I think everybody looks at things from their own perspective, and they make decisions based on either what their preacher is telling them, what their politician is telling them, or what their own minds and hearts are telling them. And so when you see these people who, we feel like should see the writing on the wall, the reason they're not seeing it is because the politicians that they worship are telling them differently. They're directing them in their steps and telling them which way to go. And so they feel like that political leaning is what's going to guide them to the truth that they want. I myself, I'm fairly spiritual. I'm very stubborn about the way that I think about things, the way I do things, and I also have a responsibility to my children and my community. So when I take my direction, I lean towards God, I lean towards Jesus, and I lean towards making sure that I'm a good example for my kids and my community. So that's why I take things differently. So I think that, like, when we see those people, and I got friends like that who heavy politicians or political people. I got a friend that's a stout Republican, a black man, stout Republican. He was a big supporter of Bush, big denouncer of Obama, a huge supporter of Trump. And no matter what I tell him, no matter what what examples I give him, he will not ever believe that Trump is a racist. And regardless of Trump being a racist, his thing is that he feels that the political leanings of the party and the things that the party is pushing in terms of policies, visions, and things of that nature, he feels that that's the right way to go. Irregardless to what Trump is saying or what Trump is doing, he feels the political party itself, that's his God. Not that he worships them, but to that degree. But that's how he rolls in life. He feels that they are the ones that are going to take him to his truth and to his solutions that he wants in that day. And so that's where we have to see where the division happens. The division happens in our own viewpoints, in our own endpoints, where we want to get to. We all have our thoughts and reactions to homosexuality, to the Islamic State and the situations there, to terrorism, to home security, to things, domestic situations and financial situations. We all have our own ideas and our own leanings on that, and that's where people are divided, because some people, they're listening to their politicians, some people are listening to their preachers, and the rest of them are making their own decisions. So, that's where we have to see the differences, and we have to realize that that's what's keeping us from from being on the same side.
This whole shit is
I can dig that. My thing is, because I agree with you, that's how they be coming. But it's like right is right, wrong is wrong. We on the same side. We could be on the same side. But I feel as though if you do something that's not right, the hell with political views, I'm going to let you know it's not right.
Yeah.
We could still share the same political views, but that actions you just took were wrong. What you just said was wrong. There's nothing, turncoat. There's nothing, we have friends. Think about it. You feel me? Your friend say something wrong, you go check him or her. Ain't no love lost. You feel me? So, so I can understand that though they don't want to go against the party, but that's the same man who said, I don't need y'all. He told the Republican Party, I can win without y'all. Right. You feel me? Like, let's not forget, we talk all this mess about Trump, but Trump is shrewd. You know what I mean? He knew what he was on to. You feel me? They using him just as much as he using them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? They're not really on the same side. They want him to get impeached, to be quite honest with you. Some of the Republicans want him out there. So
I think
Pence to take over.
Yeah, it's funny too. Yeah, it's funny too. My daughter was asking me. We were leaving for work. I was leaving for work and we were catch the bus together. And she asked me, she said, why Trump keeps saying all this great stuff? Like he with the Nazis, Mom? And I said, he acting like it, right? And she was like, yeah. She said, well, can't they fire him? I said, they couldn't impeach him if he tells a lie, like, a big lie, and they impeach him. But that's like, that's the only way he really can go, unless, he get killed, or they really just feel like they need to let him go. Or I don't know how, other than being impeached or whatever, he could be fired from being the president of the United States. And so she said, well, who would be next behind him? And I said, Pence. She said, well, is he good? I said, no.
Right. Worse. That's a thing.
Yeah.
I've heard he might be worse. That we really don't even want that to happen. And I don't know the situation or the history behind that, But, just hearing that, that's scary. That's a scary thought to think that even if we do impeach Trump, that what's behind him, what's coming from the right. At that point, we don't even want to see it. So, in the days type of stuff. So,
Yeah.
Exactly. This might be the tip of the iceberg.
Huh?
Yeah, right. Not, it might just be the tip of the iceberg. It might be the tip of the iceberg. Let me just put the number out there. If anybody wants to call in and voice your opinion on this, let us know at 657-383-1155. Again, the number 657-383-1155. Or tweet us at GFT_radio.
Yeah, I just think, like what Clint said, I do agree. Like at some point, he's appeasing the people that voted for him. But I just think that that's his real. Like that's how he really feels. Like I think he's appeasing them, but at the same time, like he can't really go out and say, like he can't go out. Well, he can because he's been doing what he want to do since before. But I just think that he can't really 100% and be like fuck these people. Like I don't like black folks. Like, be on some straight KKK shit. He can't just do that. But I don't think that he's just doing it because that's what they want him to do. I think he's doing it because that's exactly who he is.
Mm-hmm. True.
Because everything screams like he hates everybody else because of how he like everything. He went after the Muslims. He went after people who are gay. He went after the Mexicans. He went after blacks. He went after everybody. Like, I don't know who he didn't go after yet. And if he didn't go after, he's going to go after. He about to start a whole nuclear war with freaking Korea. What is it, South Korea?
Oh, North Korea, yeah.
Yeah, North Korea? Yeah, he got to start he got to set it off with them. Like, he's doing too much. Sit the fuck down and chill.
All right. So again, this goes back to the political stuff and what the one guy I was just talking about, he brought up to me about the fact that also isn't a new thing of making idle threats towards North Korea. I believe he said that Obama made similar threats in the past, and I believe it was also less volatile, but still more of a still a threat was thrown that way back in the Bush days. So there's a long-standing history between the U.S. And think about it. We went to war with North Korea at one point in the 70s. So it's not like we haven't been there before. The only thing is that I think that with North Korea flexing their muscle right now, the volatility that's always been in the air has been heightened, in the last couple of years, and further heightened by the fact that as a world, our world does not respect our leadership, So I think that, making these idle threats towards North Korea is just not a good move, only because North Korea is now in a position to act on their own threats, right? In the past, the action that they were taking was they were oppressing the South Koreans. And then I believe that they had started their missile program, and that's when Obama and possibly even Bush got involved, making sanctions against them and talking down to them. But now they have their new exactly.
They shot them 2 missiles.
Yeah. So now you have a nuclear armed North Korea. I think that at this point now you need to start thinking straight. Like, hey, there's only so many times you can bully the weak. You know what I mean? That's the thing. United States is once again, true of a nation, we're bullies. That's how we lay. That's how we get around. Not always flexing that muscle when needed. There's been plenty of times we could have stepped in some situations over especially in the African continent, but when we do step in, we bully people to death, and their ability to continue bullying people is going to be tested, and be it North Korea, be it Boko Haram, be it ISIS, be it whoever's going to be, somebody's going to test us back. The World Trade Center was the biggest test we had. There's going to be a group that's going to try to test us again, or a country or whatever. So I think that trying to incite another riot from a nuclear armed country is just not the way to do it, and that's why I think it's not smart.
Hey guys, I'm looking on Twitter right now, and they have this hashtag. It's trending called "I voted for Trump." Now, for the most part, it's Trump supporters, but then they got people that say I voted for Trump and I regret that decision every day.
Yeah, a lot of people trying to go back. But, that's how it is, man. A lot of people who said they didn't vote for Trump voted for Trump. That's what I was telling people. Like, some people voted for Trump. They work with you. They're in your face every day, smiling, laughing with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the day, you're the enemy. They ain't rocking with you. But the thing with the North Korea joint, you heard what China said as well. China like, listen, man, y'all not about to shoot no nuclear weapons over here. You feel me? Y'all, because y'all knew North Korea, that affects us. You feel me? We ain't beat our people. Yeah. Now, y'all, you feel me? Y'all ain't about to shoot no nukes over here. And I think North Korea kind of know that too. You feel me? Because like I said, when it was just a couple years ago, like you were saying, Obama said something. They better not do this, and they better not do third. The boys just, Kim Jong Un, they just shot a couple missiles in the air and let them know, like, look, man, y'all not telling us what to do over here. You feel me? Like, we're independent. Mm-hmm. You feel me? You want us? We ready to die to the last man over here. That's their mindset. You feel me?
They're like some suicide bombers. They know what they're getting into and they don't care.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's the thing, when they have that kind of bravado that they feel like, everybody can be sacrificed. It's either their way or no way. I mean, you can't fight that. You can't fight that. I mean, we should have learned that with the terrorists. We should learn that. I mean, and I'm not talking about Islamic terrorists. I'm talking about the white terrorists. Yeah. That are here. They're willing to die in these streets. The militias. Listen, they're ready to die in these streets over their gun rights. So somebody over there with nuclear weapons, they're not about to take your mess. They're not about to take that. They're not about to take your idle threats. They're not about to have that. So, let's be smart about this. But that's the thing. We're dealing with a president that feels like he can just say what he wants to say. He can do what he want to do. He does it here. It's allowed here. You know what I mean? And that's another thing that's kind of low-key scary to me is that I think, as the American people, we sheeple out too easily. We extra meek. We allow things to happen without recourse to the politicians or to even the police or whoever it may be. A lot of things are allowed to just happen. I mean, the whole situation of electing a president who was obviously racist, misogynist, violent, whatever the case may be, all the different things that you don't really want in a leader. That aside, the problem is that we also allow things to happen when it comes to. I mean, think about the whole Republican thing when they decided to shut down government a few years ago and to just fight Barack Obama. Think about some of the laws that were passed, even by Bill Clinton and even by Bush. And the legislations that were passed and the acts that they did. I mean, Bush went to war without congressional approval, and that was another thing that was allowed to happen with no recourse at all. I mean, that should have been considered a war crime, but no recourse. A lot of things are allowed to happen, and the recourse should be that we should vote these people out, or that we should not allow their cronies and their people that's in their pockets, their lobbyists, to continue to be in these positions and have this power, but we continue to allow it. So I think that's a problem in this country too.
It's just a lot of I understand that people are entitled to feel the way they feel, and this is one of the problems that I have with talking to people about a lot of this stuff that's going on, because here's how I feel. I feel like people don't people choose to be ignorant. People choose to act like they don't know what's going on. And my biggest problem with the people in America, mostly this is aimed towards a lot of white people. They choose to ignore or be ignorant to what's going on because it doesn't affect them, which I get. It's not, you're privileged, most of you, well, all of you. You're privileged, you get to, like, not be a part of a lot of stuff. But it affects America as a whole. Like, you're supposed to be united. You're supposed to be together and all this. They want everybody to be together and, like, love each other and stuff like that. But it's not realistic because it's not happening. And then when we're outraged, it's like, okay, well, I'm tired of hearing about it. Like, well, then it needs to change. This is why we keep talking about it, because it's not changing. The same thing happening, and then when something like this happens, and people are like, oh, my God, I never knew this was going on. It's been going on. What are you missing? Do you not watch the news every day? Is something happening?
Mm-hmm, true.
Every day. How do you not, like, when I turn on the news, what news are you watching? Because when I turn on the TV, I go from channel 3 to 10, and I can even go to 7, Fox and all that, and it's the same shit. Trump saying this. This is happening over here. Like, you got that guy, Dylan Wu, walking to him, and people try to pray for him. He shot that shit up, but y'all don't understand that that's something wrong with that? Like, this stuff keeps happening, and it's not new. This has been happening. This is what ancestors fought for. This is what people died for. And not just black folks, white people, everybody. Like, people that, when Martin Luther King marched, it wasn't just black folks, it was a lot of people.
Right, true.
And even with this situation wasn't even that big of a deal until that girl got hit. Not saying that, it's sad to say that it had took for a white woman to get killed for them to make it public news. This was on a hush for a little bit until that happened. So it's like, if that didn't happen, would we still not know about it unless it was black people? Because it was a Black Lives Matter part. It was on the news.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, there, it was a whole bunch of negative stuff about it. It's just I don't understand how people could just sit here in 2017 with social media, with so much access to news and everything. Y'all don't know what's going on, and you just shocked. I don't understand that. I know I went back a little bit, but it's just frustrating to me because I don't understand. Have a conversation with different people of different nationalities, and it's not just white people, it's other people too that don't act like they shocked that this shit is going on too. Like, this is realistic. This is why we need to have these conversations. This is why we need to talk about it. And it's back to what Clinton said about the Black Lives Matter. They made in their little own way they made White Lives Matter. And it's like I go back to that meme that I found and I posted one day, and it was like, just because we say Black Lives Matter don't mean we are against everybody else or anti-white. It's not that we just want y'all to know that we matter too. We matter in the sense that if one of us get killed or most of us matter, it should be just as much media attention as it is if a white kid got killed or a white woman got killed or a white man got killed. It should be the same. It shouldn't be like it shouldn't be like a serial killer out on the loose killing people's kids or kidnapping people's kids and it's all black kids like what happened in D.C. D.C. Was it Maryland? Yeah, it was D.C. Same difference. But anyway, like that. But had it been one of the white kids getting missing, it would have been made attention. Like this is what we mean when we say Black Lives Matter, because we want to start saying we should matter as equally as everybody else, and it doesn't happen. And it's not just black, it's Latinos. Because Latinos don't care. Like I'm not saying that they don't care, but they're not cared for, or they don't like to how the world presents it. They don't matter either. Like, at the end of the day, we're all immigrants. Like, half of us, like, we're immigrants by our whole birthright. Like, we weren't, like, our family came over unwillingly. We were all immigrants at some point in our family history where we were immigrants. So that's the case. None of us belong here. We all ship us back to where the hell we came from because none of us belong here. We weren't supposed to be here. We were supposed to be wherever the hell we were. We got shipped over here. So, like, it's crazy. I don't understand why it's so much tension and so much extra. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing is that a lot of people try to be oblivious to the obvious because they don't want to see it. You know what I mean? It's like the the ostrich that puts its head in the sand. It puts its head in the sand because it knows that something's coming for it, but it doesn't want to see it. It doesn't want to see its own end, and that's how people are. I mean, people in general are so self-centered and focused on their own situations. They don't want to see what other people's situations are. One of the biggest complaints that I've seen not only black folks make, but even white folks who are staunch supporters of either Black Lives Matter or just supporters of black people in general, they'll even make the comment that, what people don't see is that privilege that they have to not have ever had to deal with the situations that we deal with, right? Dealing with either systemic racism, or dealing with blatant racism, or dealing with having to overcome your family situation. You know what I mean? When it comes to people who come from a background and they feel like they have to work 2 and 3 times as hard as everybody else because they know that their background makes them a statistic or creates this viewpoint of them or this stereotype of them that they can't overcome by just being there, just by being themselves. They know that they have to work that much extra harder so that they can get noticed or they can get the respect that they deserve. So, and a lot of times people just don't want to see that because they know it's going to remind them, right? It's going to remind them that A, there's a problem, and B, they don't have a solution. So I think in the long run, they need to have these reminders. They need to have these protests. They need to have these, like you said, it's on the news. They need us discussing it. They need these reminders because other than that, they're just going to keep ignoring it. They're going to keep ignoring the situation. They're going to keep ignoring it, or they're going to keep having these ignorant viewpoints that show that they don't have a true understanding or a clear respect for other people or other people's situations.
Yeah.
Another point too. Excuse me. I was online, and when I was watching the videos, you read the comments. A lot of people were white people. They weren't upset about them people out there doing the White Lives Matter, White Nationals, neo-Nazis. They weren't mad at them for being out there. Well, what they stood for, they were mad at them for being out there. They were mad at them for making it known. You feel me? Because they want they wanted the narrative to still be, what are y'all talking about? There is no racism. You feel me? That racism y'all talking about, this is a post-racial. So when you put that visual out there, now they can't deny it. Right, true. You feel me? Now, so some of the ones that we're talking about that seem so oblivious and so, so shocked, that's a front too for some of them, because really they just mad that now now we gotta deal with it. Now they know. You feel me? We can't ride no more.
They've been out there. If they was hiding or not, they've been around.
You know what I mean? So and I know it's some white people out there who just really don't know. They never. Me and my boy was talking about that a couple of days ago. Like, bro, some of them never really been around black people their whole life.
Oh wow! So I just read a tweet from the New York governor, and he said Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson will be removed from the Carnegie Hall of Guests of Great Americans because of New York stance against racism. So they've taken the two. Remember how after this happened, they all across the country they had wanted to take down two Confederate statues, and Robert E. Lee statue and Stonewall Jackson is coming down from New York. So they said they don't tolerate racism.
I don't understand why it's such a big deal for them to come down. To be quite honest with you. Quite honest with you.
So why they're taking them down, or that they
first of all, taking them down is not going to affect nothing. You feel me? Let's be real. You know what I mean? You walk through any real hood in America and you say the name Robert E. Lee. You feel me? Only a few gonna know who the fuck you talking about. Let's be real. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Like, that doesn't affect us. That flag, what makes it so different from the American flag? You feel me? Like, you burn a Confederate flag. Okay, who gives a fuck? We still under the American flag, and we still subjugated to the same shit. So why, you know what I mean? Like, why? It's a distraction. To be quite honest with you, like, that shit not major. You feel me? What about education? What about, you know what I mean, some economic resources? You know what I mean? That's the type of stuff we need to be talking about. How we going to create our own stuff in our own neighborhood? You feel me? That's the type of stuff we need to be talking about. Fuck you, I don't give a fuck about no statue. I don't believe in idolatry. And you know what I mean, if any of y'all, anybody out there so-called Christians or Muslims or whatever, y'all don't believe in idolatry either. So why the hell? Yeah, you shouldn't. So no goddamn statue shouldn't mean nothing to you. You feel me? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, to me, that's, you feel me? That's such a minor thing that's causing such a major issue. Like I don't get it. Like, I really don't get it. I really don't get it.
Well, and, you know, I think a lot of it. I think a lot of it is in the way they're kind of, well, okay, let me tell you two ways. One way they're trying to spin it, right? They like you said, they're trying to spin it with the whole, oh, it's our history, oh, it's this, or it's that, or it's the semblance. It's what they stood for at one point, and they just don't see that it should be taken down, right? So it's like they're trying to romanticize it, right? They're trying to romanticize these statues and these displays, and one of the comedians put it perfectly. He said that, you know, they're trying to make it like if you all of a sudden took all these things down, we wouldn't know anything about them. And it's like, well, we got history books, right? And we're taught this stuff in history. We taught this stuff, you know, in school. And the thing is that, you know, if I mean, yeah, saying a name, you may not immediately recognize it, but if you say, hey, you know, these people were part of the you know, Southern resistance in the Civil War, trying to keep slavery intact, people are gonna know what you're talking about. So, you know, trying to act like slavery is going to go away, that, you know, the Civil War is going to go away just because you took some statues down, that's ignorant to think that way. So, you know, the biggest thing is that a lot of this stuff that they're trying to tie it to, it's all romantic BS. That, you know, it's something that, you know, it has, like you said, it has no real purpose or any type of real semblance of things that we're really going through that we need to really be fighting for. We got other bigger fish to fry right now. We got wars going on outside. We got problems going on inside. We have homelessness. We have people needing jobs. We got so many other situations that we need to figure out in this country, and some statues and some flags and things like that. You know, that should not be what we're fighting about. We should be fighting about why do we not have proper manufacturing in this country? Why is our infrastructure sucking so much, even though we pour money into taxes? Why are we having so many issues with the government being able to approve laws or to get things done in a timely manner when, you know, we put them in office in a timely manner, we pay them in a timely manner? Why can't they pass these laws properly to protect us? You know, why do we have no proper health care? You know, in most situations, you know, we have to get the ACA approved, but, you know, even to this day, they're trying to take that away from us. You know, why do we have to have, you know, that problem? There's so many other fish to fry.
Why did I get a letter in the mail telling me the lead levels in my water is down here, you know what I mean? Suicide to drink.
Right.
Our shit worse than Flint. You feel me?
Right.
We ain't on no damn news. Like, I don't hear about no damn statue and no flag, man.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
It's some real shit going on out here that we got to deal with. Like, excuse me. Now, here's it ain't funny. I got a cruise sense of humor. But, you know, y'all see the picture of the old boy that got hit, the black guy? He got hit by the dude in Charlottesville. You got the one picture with him in the air. And then they got
Don't do it. Don't.
No, I talk about.
Yeah.
So right. Well, I clicked on, you know, pro-black people. The people who really pro-black and like just, you know, they don't give a fuck, man. I'm telling you, they're some of the funniest people ever. Like, they're so unapologetically black, they don't give a fuck. You feel me? They posted this picture on Instagram, and everybody that was pro-black was like, well, he shouldn't have been there. What is he doing there anyway?
What?
That's a white people. That's a white people fight. He shouldn't have had his black ass there anyway. The fuck is wrong? Yo, they killed him.
That's not right. Well, why would they do that? And Clint over there crying.
Like, I just thought that was hilarious. To me, that was hilarious. Like, they had no mercy for it. He was like, that was, you feel me? Like, that wasn't our fight. That was the fight between white people. Because that's what's really going on. That's what's really going on. Like, white people are really going through an identity crisis right in front of our eyes. Y'all do realize that. You feel me? And then the crazy part about it, they hold all the power. You feel me? So if they get on if they get on some bullshit with each other, like they did during the Civil War, they get like we were just talking about what all this so-called is about. If they get on that bullshit, you feel me? Shit gonna get real. You feel me? Because they done proved, they done showed. That's what I always say about white people. They done showed. You feel me? For them and they minds, for the advancement of white people, they would kill their own. You feel me? They would destroy and rebuild.
But we're following right behind them there. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're following right behind them. Rebuild our own.
We just here to keep shit honest, right?
Exactly. So we gotta break that mentality too. You know, we can't be on the same BS that they're on. You know, and the sad part is it's not everybody. You know, it's like, and that's one thing I definitely want to put out there is like we gotta remember everybody's not on the same page on all sides, right? You know, we don't point it out. There's some black people who don't get it that you still black. I don't care who told you what they told you, but you're still black. And you are still going to be subject to being black when it all goes down. And then for the white folks that are doing what's right when it comes to defending and pushing and protesting in our honor, you know, I applaud them. You know, but like you said, Clint, there's some other ones that are having an identity crisis, or they're riding that fence. And the thing is, they got to get it that you either I mean, not to say you got to pick a side, but you need to figure it out. You know, and I've talked to some of them. They're like, you know, they're the type that'll say, you know, I voted for Obama, but I don't understand why, you know, black people got to be a certain way. And it's like, dude, like, what are you talking about? You know, or they don't get they don't understand what the Black Lives Matter movement was about, or they don't understand why, you know, we have to have our own whatever we have, because the thing is that, you know, if we don't have our own, we're not going to get recognized. They don't understand that. It's like, dude, you got to realize that, you know, we're fighting a fight time. We're always fighting this constant battle, you know. So, you know, it's the battle to be heard, the battle to be seen as a minority, you know, is a hard fight to fight. And, you know, being that everything that we need isn't given to us, we have to take it, or we have to, you know, work extra hard for it. You know, when you just get it on GP, that's a problem. You know, you got to recognize that's a true problem, and a lot of people aren't recognizing that. You know, unfortunately, some of our own people aren't recognizing that, or they get so caught up in, well, it's working for me, why is it not working for you? And it's like, dude, it's not built to work for us. It's not built to work for all of us. You know, it's not built to work for all whites either. You know, I mean, I had a friend that lives in South Carolina now, or in North Carolina, wherever he's at. He's in one of the Carolinas now. He used to live up here in Michigan, and he even was recognizing it because he was poor, and his thing was, you know, he grew up in a neighborhood where I can't remember what the percentage was, but bottom line, pretty much everybody was on welfare or on some kind of aid. And the thing was that the job situations, the places, or the way that they lived, I mean, all the things that they encountered were a stark reminder that they were not respected, and that they didn't have what the other people had on the other side of the tracks. And they felt like they had to work extra hard or do extra things in order to get out of that situation. And, you know, his biggest thing was the mentality that was being taught to them was blame somebody else, you know, and that's the crazy part to me is like, you know, as a person that lived in the inner city, and I lived through my own, you know, levels of poverty in my life, you know, you you saw both mentalities, but a lot of times the thing was is that we looked at it like we have to do for ourselves and take care of ourselves to get out of it, right? And he was saying how in his neighborhood it was like blame these black people who are taking our jobs, blame these Mexicans that are taking our jobs, blame these people, blame the government, and they pointed a lot of fingers. Not to say that happens with all poor white people, but he was saying from his situation that was what he saw. And it's sad to think that you have to live in that kind of mindset and that kind of mentality that you feel like you have to put the blame on somebody and just live that way when you can really just, hopefully get in the right situations, grab the right opportunities, put yourself in the right positions, and that's why we have to be there for other people when we are in that position. And that's what a lot of people that are in middle class and upper class, when they are a minority, they don't realize. It's like, yeah, you made it, and you might have had just the right situations, opportunities present themselves, or you were born at the right time, or born in the right neighborhood, or whatever the case may be. The thing is that you can't forget that there's people who didn't have those opportunities. You can't forget that there's situations out there that don't mimic yours. You have to reach back and bring those people up, because the thing is that they, especially if they want it, and if they're willing to work for it, you got to reach back and help them. Because the thing is that we can't forget that not everybody, it just wasn't made for everybody. We all have our own situations we got to overcome. So it should be something that we should do is pull back and reach back and get those people up.
Like the best word you used was opportunity. It's like, first of all, for them to feel that way, it's only that proves the point of white privilege. You feel me? They coming from a position of privilege where they believe like they should have these jobs, but these other people are taking these jobs from them. Mm-hmm. They're not thinking, oh, these other people are outworking us. Like, no, they're not supposed to have the opportunity to get these jobs.
Right.
They're taking the opportunities from us. You feel me? That's a position of privilege. They believe like we shouldn't. That's why our conditions are the way they're set up. Like the system for them is set up to where, like, yeah, if you work hard enough, you make it in a capitalistic society, you can get some money out here. You feel me? The thing was, though, it was never set up for black people to be involved in that. We was always supposed to be the lower caste. So as time has been going on, we fought for those opportunities that we didn't have before. So now that we're getting opportunities to prove that we're just as eligible for these positions, if not more, for some, they feel some type of way. Now we're getting in the door. The problem is with that, like Willie said, the conditions for us are still so dire that we need more. Everybody who to make it out, the majority of them need to reach back. You feel me? They need to reach back because they are only outlet. That's why we need to deal with each other on a business tip more, because the white people showing you like they don't really want us to prosper. You feel me? If a few of us get through, okay, cool, but we're not trying to let all y'all through.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're not trying to let all y'all through. You know what I mean? It's never supposed to be like that. So that's what they mean by making America great again. Nah, give us our privilege back. Give us our privilege back. The hell with them and the opportunities. You feel me?
Exactly. Yeah. Sad state.
And I agree with everything you said, Clint. It's just so much that people don't like, and it's sad because Jimmy Fallon. Was it Jimmy Fallon? Because I watched a lot of I don't know if y'all watch. I love Seth Meyers. And then Jimmy Fallon made, they both had their late night shows and they both talked about it. So did Stephen Colbert too. But like it's just these are white men that acknowledge that this is and Jimmy Fallon said it. He said white people need to realize that this is really happening. Like this is what he didn't know he said verbatim, but he basically just telling them like we as white people need to understand what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not like, and that's the problem. Like they don't want to, like I said before, like we keep saying, they don't want to educate themselves, or they choose to be ignorant or naive to the situation. And this is happening, and you need to understand that this is wrong and condemn behavior like this.
Right.
So to the good of American people, period.
See, my thing, all right, I don't give a damn if they condemn it or not. Because at the end of the day, what does that do?
Well,
I need you to change some things. I need you to change some things.
So this is my thing. And I used to kind of feel that same way. Like what is getting on TV and saying I condemn this? What is making that statement do? But I think what that does is I think it pulls some of the energy out of the negativity. It pulls some of the respect out of the activity. I think that when you have the power and the privilege, when you have the power and the what's the word, when you have so many fans and things like that, when you have the platform, I can't think of the word, the platform, when you have that platform to be able to say this is a problem and this is what we need to be thinking and this is what we need to be doing, and you push that counter agenda, to say we're not going to accept this because this is wrong. I think you're helping people to connect to someone that they may respect or that they may consider enviable to look up to and say, okay, you know what? If he sees a problem with this, maybe I need to rethink this. If they don't do it, the thing is, if they don't do it, or if we don't have, I mean, everybody's a leader. That's what you got to remember. Everybody's a leader. I mean, not just people who are in leadership positions. Everybody's a leader. Whenever you have influence, whenever you have the ability, that's the word I was looking for. When you have that influence to be able to tell somebody something and they listen to you, that means that you have power over them, and that you have a leadership position and you have a responsibility to use that responsibly, so that when they do that, it takes some of the air out of it. So, the thing with Trump is influencing people to be, like we're showing, racist, right? Because he says, Mexicans are evil and black people are poor and uneducated and blah, blah this and blah, blah that. He's asking these people up to make them more energized and more counterproductive and making them more racist or whatever the case may be. He's making them think a certain way when he pushes that agenda. When you have somebody that's coming right behind them and saying, you know what, that's a problem. This is not acceptable, and we're not going to support this. Be it business leaders, be it entertainers, be it community leaders, be it community people, be it the little guy, the big guy, whoever it takes, because we all have to play our part in that and say this is not acceptable. We have to show that there's a vast majority of people who don't think this way, because if the thing is this, like this, we didn't see that there was a problem with bullying in school until people start saying this bullying in school. We took it as just, remember, like when you were a kid in school, if people, tricked you or pushed you or was in a clique that was more popular or whatever the case may be, we didn't call that bullying. We just called that that was life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't see it as what it was. We saw it as what we perceived it to be and what other people told us it was. We were told, sometimes even by our own parents, that we didn't fit in, or that we were different, or that we were special, quote unquote. So don't worry about that. You have to succeed on this other side. Oh, you're not a jock, so blah blah this and blah blah that. It was an ideal, right? And it was put in our minds, and people rolled with it because, quote unquote, everybody was doing it, right? But once everybody now says, okay, if you act a certain way towards people or you treat people a certain way, that's bullying, or if you don't respect other people's situations and their viewpoints and their differences, then that's wrong. That kind of thing. Being able to come out as a homosexual, it wasn't something that was acceptable because everybody was saying it's wrong. Now that it's more acceptable to say, okay, we have to tolerate it, now everybody's feeling more comfortable with coming out. Yeah, everybody rolls with what the general public is rolling with. You know what I'm saying? The ideas that they're going for. You know, if we all say that it's okay to integrate and not be segregated, it'll start to catch on. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's important. That's why we have to come out and condemn this stuff. That's why it's important. We have to say it. That's why you know, the campaigns of saying the person's name when they're gunned down in the streets. It's you're saying it. It's not because you're just saying it just out of saying it. You're saying it because you want people to remember. You want people to recognize. You want people to see the problem. Because if they don't see the problem, if they don't remember the issue, it gets pushed under the rug. See what I'm saying? So it has to be said. It has to be done.
Yeah, and it's crazy because the company of the Tiki Torches came out and said something. Like, they could have just not said nothing. They didn't do anything. The people were just using their shit, and they came out and said, you know, hey, now this is not what it was meant for. You know, they didn't make a big statement. They said this is not what it was meant for, and they said what they had to say, and that was it. Like, that's how serious this was. Like, just how serious this incident was and how it affected people. Because it's like this is like this can't like and it's crazy because they talked about on the news today too. They talked about how they think that it might be more marchers in different cities of this magnitude with the same white nationalists. Huh?
Oh, it will. They got big stuff.
So now everybody's preparing for something like this can happen in another state because like I said, their intention is to incite a riot, to incite thing, and then say it's not us, it's the people coming to protest against us. That's what
they ready for war.
Yeah.
They're ready for war. They know they got cops on their side. They know they got, I'm not saying all cops, I'm just saying, you know what I mean, they got politicians, they got everybody on their side. You feel me? My thing, you know, like I agree with you, Willie, but if that's all they're going to do is just denounce it, condemn it, you know what I mean? To me, that's weak. I need more. I need the follow up.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we all as a people have to do our part to follow up and follow through. I mean there's a thing that we talk about in service on Sundays and we talk about faith, right? People always say you got to have faith, got to believe in God, blah 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 blah. Thing is that if all you do is just go to church and all you do is just receive the word and then you don't do anything with it, then you're not a true Christian or you're not a true whatever religion you're in. The thing is that exactly. The thing is you have to have the action. You either have to apply it to your life or you have to do the things that are being taught to you. Like you're just supposed to do charity. You're supposed to be non-judgmental. You're supposed to be out there in these streets telling people about God, or you're supposed to be whatever the case may be. There's a lot of things that are tied to that. So the same thing with, like you said, with denouncing these races and getting out here and talking about, you know, how much we don't want these relics and all these other things up in the air and showing, you know, the what the nation was based on. The thing is that we have to follow it up. You know, I mean, everybody has to do it in their own way. I'm not going to say, you know, going out and protesting the street is for everybody. I'm not going to say, you know, creating focus groups and trying to teach children how to not to be racist or whatever the case may be. Whatever your lane is, get in a lane and go and do something with it. You know, me myself, the way I do it, you know, I'm in these community groups. We go out and we teach kids different things from, you know, financial literacy to anti-bullying to tolerance to whatever the case may be. You know, a lot of people are in religious groups and they do their thing, and a lot of people do the protesting. And I think we all need to do something. We all need to, you know, show our civic responsibility to do something about this kind of stuff. You know, only just saying it, like you said, that's true. Only just saying it is just not enough. You know, I mean, what is Jimmy Fallon or Seth Meyers doing outside of their show? Who knows? I'm not gonna say those men ain't doing something else extra. You know, we've seen plenty of times where some of these celebrities they you know, not to say that they don't want to be known for protesting or whatever the case may be. Some of them just don't want to be taking the shine away from the situation, or some of them don't feel like it's proper to just like bandwagon it and say, oh, look what I'm doing, whatever the case may be, because then sometimes that can take away from the situation, right? Because sometimes people can look at it like, oh, well, you're just doing this for publicity, whatever the case may be. So I think everybody has to do their own thing. Everybody has to pick a lane and roll with it, but they have to have some action. There does have to be some action. There does have to be some kind of actual thing that you do. Like you said, you have to do something. Do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's almost that time, people.
Yes, it is.
Wow. Another great conversation. Yes. But yeah. Yeah, we could talk about this all night. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we can. Right.
One thing I know the one thing we wanted to bring up too, with all the craziness happening, is all this more terrorism. Right? We got more terrorism out there. It's so much stuff going on. This is another drop in the bucket towards everything else going on in this world. So
yeah, that Barcelona incident is highly, highly unacceptable, and I hope it doesn't become more of a trend. I thought maybe late in saying that, because it seems like it's already trending, and them type of attacks to where people are just out in public, they just running them down with trucks, vans, and stuff like that. It's getting a sad state. Like you said, it's a sad state where you can't even be outside enjoying yourself with your family. But, that's the truth of the situation we're in.
It's a scary place now. This world is getting scary. People are getting brazen with the stuff they're doing, and it can happen any and everywhere.
I just think it's being more seen. It's just being seen more to me. You feel me? I don't think when we say it's getting worse, I just think people are just seeing it more. Because, think about it, we wouldn't see all this stuff 20, 30 years ago all on TV. It wouldn't be so accessible. Now, the visuals weren't there. And in a way, we have become desensitized.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, definitely desensitized. Yeah, that's true.
You feel me? Because I can think of a time that they would have never showed that video clip on the news. You know what I mean? You can never just go on YouTube and just see the video clip of the people really just getting mowed down by the vehicle.
Yeah.
Right.
They would have never put that on TV. I think as a whole, we become desensitized and to the point to where, you feel me, a lot of situations we just become nonchalant with.
Yeah, and it's because, and like you said, the media is changing. A lot of stuff they would tell you, warn you. They still do, but a lot of stuff just wasn't shown, and now it's just everybody's trying to get that story.
Yeah.
You're gonna see it, and then you got people with cell phones that's gonna record what they're gonna record and post it to get that money.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting tired of that too. I think that's a trend I need to stop. That's a discussion for another day. I'm really getting, oh man, people just sitting around recording people fighting and all that. Like, nah, that's corny.
Yeah.
Especially when you see grown ass men out there recording females fighting. Like, nah.
I can think that.
For another day.
Y'all want to get back to our info?
Y'all can catch me on my blog at kingstruth.com. Hit me up on Twitter at eTrentonGroomy. Snapchat at King's Truth. Just Google me. I'll let you boy.
It's Willie Styles. It's STYLEZ. You catch me at Willie Styles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Willie.Styles on Snapchat. My website is Willie Styles. It's AskWillieStyles.com. I'm everywhere. Just hit up my other website from all my links, WillieStyles.info. And
of course, I am Sunny_D on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. You can find me on my blog, unreservedlyme.com. And find us, GST Radio. We're on Facebook. We're everywhere. Just Google us and you'll find us everywhere. We're on iTunes, Google Play Music, YouTube, SoundCloud. We also have an Instagram and a Twitter, and their usernames is at GFT_radio, the same for both. So definitely check that out. We have a Tumblr page as well, but all our links are on our website, gftradioshow.com. We want to thank you guys for listening tonight. Share this audio, share our podcast everywhere. And thank you for those who have liked our Facebook page. We're almost reaching 500. So thank you guys for liking it and checking out our content.
Gracias. Catch us in 7 days.
Good night, guys.
Holla.
Ready? Okay. We got paper, yes we do. Wide rule notebooks, pencils, glue. We got crayons, every hue. School supplies for your whole crew. Target's got everything you need to ready, set, go back to school. Ready? Okay. We got paper, yes we do. Wide rule notebooks, pencils, glue. We got crayons, every hue. School supplies for your whole crew. Target's got everything you need to ready, set, go back to school.